for a living, but could charge probably thousands, if not tens of thousands of dollars for their public speaking and for their tips and tricks. And so we are just always spoiled on the second Monday of every month. So I am really excited that we're going to be able to hear from Fred and Nikki tonight. Really quick, before we jump into the leadership, I do have a couple announcements that I want to share with you. So I'm gonna have Alondra pull that up. And just so you know, my power keeps going out. So for some reason I disappear. Alondra doesn't know this yet, but she will be hosting this call. If I pop out, I'll try to join back in on my phone. But I do want to just go over a couple of reminders of our US product promos. We have Optimal V. V stands for vitamins. For those of you that are new, I see Nikki smiling. We had a long training on that, you know what, it took me for a while to understand what Optimal M and Optimal V stood for. Minerals and vitamins. So Optimal M and Rejuvenex are both on special this month, 20% off. The Optimal V is in the loyalty cart, and the Rejuvenex is in the regular cart. So that will go through the end of the month. And remember that take a screenshot, because you'll want to make sure that you use those SKUs, especially the Rejuvenex SKU, because that is a promo SKU. All right. The next thing I want to just go over with everybody is quick reminders. We are down to the wire. I would guess that before the end of the month, we will be sold out of tickets for Orlando. You guys are incredible. We are still offering the special pricing. These will go through May 31st, and then it will jump up to the next tier. Now, the good news is I don't think it's going to jump up to the next tier, because I think we're going to be sold out at this price level. So if you haven't already bought tickets, you guys are enrolling like crazy. Get those 10 packs. Because we don't want anybody to be left out of this event. All right. Now, remember that our Ultimate in 8 is ongoing. You can take a picture of that QR code. And what this promo is, basically you have 8 Fridays instead of 4 Fridays to get Ultimate. Now, as always, we encourage you, get it in that first 4. The quicker you can get there, you are off to the races. But we do have kind of that extra 4 Fridays built in if you get a little bit of a late start. But jump in, get going, hit Ultimate. That is the goal. Guys, we have new social media templates. I'm already seeing so many of you guys use them. We love seeing them. We have all of the ranks, rank advancement titles. We have your saving bonus. We are working on Ultimate and Gold templates as well. And check out that awesome template for Slenderize before and after. The best part is marketing has listened, and they are taking this where you are. We know you guys are using Canva. It's an incredible tool. So now all of these templates you can use in Canva and just add personal images and touch to it. Now you can find these. If you go into your back office, there's a section Partner News. If you click on that, it will tell you exactly where to find these. And I want to do a reminder and kind of get you guys excited for some upcoming calls. Next week, I am so excited because I've been trying to get Andrea Vossler on for the longest time. She is such an incredible leader. She comes from the corporate world, and she's taken those skills into building her business. She builds her at-home partner co-business as if it is a corporation. She has standard procedures of operation. She has daily habits. She really has, her onboarding is so exceptional in how she brings teams on and gives them the best tools. And her team has had over 108 rank advancements. I believe this was just last month. So I wanted to invite her on to share a little bit about how her team works together, supporting one another as they are trying to rank up. And then I want to give a reminder, please take a screenshot of this, because our North America recognition call, which is typically on the last Monday of every month, will actually be on the Wednesday, so May 29th. Martine's been kind enough to share her Canada Connect call with us, because not only because of the Bahamas, because we'll just be getting back, but more importantly, I want to remind everybody the offices in the US will be closed on Monday, the 27th, I believe, for Memorial Day. So we are going to hold our recognition call on that Wednesday because we want as many people to be there as possible. Put a 1 in the chat if you loved the energy on our last recognition call. I think we're going to get flooded. I'm seeing it. You guys, it was so fun because we want to celebrate your success. But I know that just listening to Martine and I read the names is not super exciting. So we really wanted to kick it up a notch. And as you join each recognition call, you're going to see that we are boosting it up even more. So these are the calls that are remaining for May 2024. We have our leadership call tonight. Then on Monday, the 20th, as I mentioned, we've got Andrea Rosser, and then our recognition call on May 29th. We had our shop live with Cynthia Bolden on Rejuvenex last Wednesday. You can check that out in the library, and we will be having another shop live that will air Wednesday, May 22nd, and that is going to be with Dr. Crystal Vance. We are going to be talking about boosting your mood. May is National Mental Health Awareness Month, and we want to just talk about some just everyday tips that you can boost your mood, and also touch on a few products that can help you with that as well. Okay, let's see, do we have another slide? Oh my goodness, of course we do, you guys. I got so much feedback from you guys. You're loving that we're celebrating our power ranking. I get so excited. We are taking over Partner Co. Our market is killing it. This is for week 18, so let's do a quick celebration. And I'm going to pause here because I want to make sure everybody is taking screenshots. This first screen that you see is North America only. So let's see, worldwide. Oh, actually I lied. This is for the worldwide power ranking, but of course we've only listed our North America brand partners. So you guys, look at all the spots that we are taking up. It is so incredible. And I just want to congratulate each and every one of you. Now let's take a look at the next slide. This is for just North America. This is our regional 2024 top power rankers. Go ahead, get those screenshots in. If you see either your mentors, your upline, crossline, send a congratulations. This is really driving. I'm seeing people send me screenshots. This is something that I've never seen the field, you guys pay attention to as much as I am right now. And we just love that it is driving excitement in this time of momentum that we're in. You guys, thank you so much for joining us and letting me just take a few minutes of your leadership call to go over a few of those announcements. I am so incredibly honored to share with you tonight your speakers, Nikki Vossler and Fred Herzog II. Not only are they CEOs, but we can go ahead and go full screen, Alondra, too. If you can put me and Nikki and Fred on at the same time. Today was an incredible day because John and Darren and Katie and Dan and Maki and myself, we were able to congratulate these two because they earned their $10,000 savings bonus. And that is such a big deal. This is probably one of my favorite pieces of our comp plan because Nikki and Fred and I were talking earlier. I think that it helps encourage fiscal responsibility. I think it helps retention. Who wants to walk away when you've got a few $1,000s sitting in your savings bonus fund? And it is by far my favorite call to do to celebrate. And so we are celebrating big with both Nikki and Fred. Now, tonight, I really wanted to highlight, and I'm going to pull it up because I want to read it perfectly, and then I'm going to turn the time over to you guys. I want to start focusing on our Partner Co values. And as I was thinking about these two, The value that came to mind is built to last. And I want to read this. This is number 7, and it says, "We are crafting a legacy company built with integrity and honor that will stand the test of time, promising to enrich lives for generations to come." And this is an incredible legacy that is made up of companies that have rich history that we have wanted to honor. And you are looking at 2 people that are not only honoring the legacy of Tahitian Noni, but honoring the legacy of their dad. And this business wasn't just handed down, which we love. I mean, that's great, right? This is a business you can pass on to your children. But Fred and Nikki have taken it up to the next level. They have brought on the global legacy team. They have brought the whole Noni Back campaign. And so I want to turn the time over to you, Nikki and Fred, to just share a little bit about what it takes to build a legacy team. So I don't know who wants to go first. Fred, do you want to?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Kristine, thanks so much. It's pretty cool. We've had a couple different Zooms throughout the day, and it's so neat to be part of PartnerCo as the growth is really expanding. All those that are on this Zoom and those that might watch it in the future, take notice of where you're at right now in this time, because something very special is happening here. But it was cool. We were able to be on the Zoom with John and Darren and Katie and Kristine and Maki and Dan. And, you know, it's pretty neat how PartnerCo does want to teach fiscal responsibility. We have this savings plan. Let's, you know, put some money away. Let's get debt free, right? So first off, thank you for that. It just so happens that call was today too. So very, very cool. I'll try to see if this will zoom in or not. I'm not sure if it will. It's actually going in backwards. Sorry, but it says build something that outlives you, and that's a saying that's been around for quite some time. And it's not something my dad came up with, but it's something he would talk about, and it was brought out in such a way of most companies where you had to be some corporate machine to handle. And so I think, to talk about legacy, I really got to tell you about my dad's story, if I may, because that's really going to prove the point on, you know, how can regular people, right? How can regular people create a legacy? If we're average people, what can we do? What industry can we be part of where we can be allowed to build something and then pass it on to a loved one, a partner, a spouse, kids, grandkids. And so that really was the driving force. If you were to go back in a time capsule to Nikki and me as we were growing up in Florida, my dad was raised in an orphanage in Chicago. He had a really tough upbringing, which I think makes his story so special, because if he can do it with some of the obstacles that he went through as a young man trying to just make it in the world, it really gives all of us, you know, some hope that, hey, if he can do it, we can do it too. And he had a really tough upbringing, but for whatever reason, it was built inside of him already. What can I do? What can I do? I want to do something better. I don't want my kids to go through what I went through being raised in an orphanage. And so he was in the military for 4 years, then decided to move from Oklahoma to Florida, where me and Nikki were raised. And dad had job after job, but he kept running into a wall. Not enough education, didn't know the right people. And he was very frustrated because things weren't working out for him, but he didn't quit. And he started to learn about this industry we call it, and we coined the term here at PartnerCo, we call it partnership marketing. But at the time, that was direct sales or network marketing, multi-level marketing, whatever you want to call it. And he started to see through other people that, wow, this is an opportunity for us regular folks that don't have a special last name, you know, that don't know the right people, that we can do something special starting with this generation going forward. And as he started to learn these principles, he realized that this industry is the one industry that can actually provide 2 of the most important wealth building principles on the planet. And that is leverage and residual. So what do I mean by leverage and residual? Well, leverage is basically incorporating the efforts of other people. Big business has done that forever. Business owners have done that forever. You've probably heard the phrase, from J. Paul Getty, would you rather have 100% of your own efforts or 1% of 100 people, right? So I don't know about you, but what if you get sick? Or what if you want to go on vacation or take some time off? If all your efforts are just your own, how are you going to make money, right? So you gotta build a team. That's wealth building principle number one. Incorporate the efforts of others so you can leverage your time. No longer trading hours for dollars, because you start to realize there's just not enough hours in the day to really get you to where you want to be, to build that true legacy where you can actually pass on something. And, Greg and Dr. Lanika Scott talk about it all the time about they want to leave an inheritance, not a bill. And so that's something that through this industry we're able to do. But what's the second part? Another wealth building industry part of this industry is residual income. And what is residual income? It's doing the work one time, but getting paid over and over and over and over and over again if those products are purchased through a subscription or otherwise. Wow, how can the normal person do that? They're trading hours for dollars, 40 hours a week, right? How does that work? Well, this industry does that specifically with Partner Co. And the only way it really works is the products better work, right? And so Dad's biggest run in network marketing really started in 1999 with this product here, Tishanoni. And that's a picture of Dad there. He was actually in one of the Tahiti Tradewinds magazines with the company back in 2004. And so it's an honor that we're able to be talking about it, in that there's a company, Partner Co, that has these legacy brands, Limu, right? We got Moa, we've got obviously Tishanoni. And so if you're going to use that wealth building principle of residual income, the product better flat out work. And Dad would tell us, you're onto something if you have a product so special that people will purchase it even if they don't get a check. And that's what we have here. When you think about it, the products that we have here at Partner Co, these legacy brands, they're scientifically proven. They've been all through all the R&D testing. They just flat out works because they provide the raw materials that our bodies need to work at optimum levels. So that would tell us, and this is so cool, these products, they work today, they work tomorrow, they work next week, they work next month, they work next year, they work in 2 years. They just work. And so if you're going to build with leverage, incorporating a team, and residual, you need a big team over time with a product that's proven and people will purchase month after month. So, when you kind of look at some of these things here, as an average person, a normal person, when I say average, I hope it doesn't come across strange, but I mean just the regular person that doesn't have any kind of special, in their mind, a special gift. But that's the thing, we do, because we all have passion and dreams. And for whatever reason, Dad was able to kind of get out of that rut that he was in and that disadvantaged, time as he was growing up as a kid, and still, surrounded himself with people that were better than him, that could teach him some things, would be able to actually help him to understand how money's really made, right? Some of those things they don't teach you in college. So it's amazing that we're part of such an amazing industry, but partnered with Partner Co to make it all work for us. So, one of the things that Dad would say too, as I start to wrap at least my part of this up, is how can you make sure that you're in a system or a company that's going to work for the average person, right? Because again, we're talking to a lot of people, a lot of people that we know have not made it to these great heights, and so they might not think they can do it, right? So that's where leadership comes in, and us helping to instill those values and actually show them how to do it. But Dad would give us this illustration. He would say, and it's just so happens there was Derby week a couple weeks ago, and Dad would watch horse racing from time to time, and he would say, and it hits home because we have it here. He said, Freddie and Nikki, would you rather be the best jockey in the world on an average horse, or would you rather be an average jockey on the best horse? Let that sink in there. I don't know about you, but I want to be in the best horse. And that's what we have here when you combine our compensation plan, the products that we have here. And I think one of the most important things is our leadership group that has taken PartnerCo to where we've had now all of this phenomenal growth. And that's the leadership team of Darren and John. And if you looked at those values, and Kristine mentioned them briefly, she mentioned one in particular. There's 7 of them, and they're all amazing in their own right. But number 7 is special to Nikki and I, and that is built to last. And I don't know about you, but if you're going to do something and you're going to put your time into it, and you're going to do, you might even be working this on the side because you still have your normal 9-to-5 job, right? Don't you want to be paid handsomely for the work that you do? I don't know about you, but I sure do. So if you're gonna be part of a company or part of a team, you need to have all these things in place. You have to have the proper leadership, which we have with Darren and John as they brought PartnerCo to us with all of these legacy brands combined, right? And with these proven products that flat out work, and a compensation plan that pays us handsomely. So, we spent a couple minutes here, but I hope it's coming through that regular people, us average folks, can really make an impact on our future generations if we align ourselves with the right industry, the right company, PartnerCo, and the right timing. And we have all those 3 happening right now. And so, but I just got to say, it's a privilege to be part of this PartnerCo run that we're all having. And it's amazing to be able to do this with my sister. She's my big sister. She's the one who's always looked after me, always made sure, everything's well and I'm taken care of. And I try to do the best I can to reciprocate at that as well. But to be a brother and sister team working together to try to make sure that we make our dad proud here. And that's what our whole goal in life is. And that might be another clue, guys. Find a reason to do this besides yourself. Find a reason besides you to do this, right? Your kids, your spouse, your grandparents, whatever the case may be. Make sure that why is so important that you don't want to stop. You don't want to stop. So with that, Nikki, if you, I'd love to hear from you, and thank you so much for your time. This has been outstanding.
Fred, oh my gosh, thank you. And for anybody on this call, if you have not had a chance to meet Fred, put it on your goal list for PXP, because this guy, if you are lacking any energy or you are feeling down, you just need to stand within about 10 to 20 feet of him, and his energy just plugs in. And Fred, I'm going to tell a little funny story. Fred never gets upset. He always has a smile. He is always happy. And there was something where we needed to get something accomplished. And so I was giving him a hard time. I was like, come on, Fred, get angry. Come on, Fred. And I'm like trying to boost him up. And this poor guy, he couldn't get past the smile, man. I had to give him a whole pep talk just to get him fired up, But I love these two, and the respect and love that they have for not only their teams, but one another. It is the real deal. They lead with such love. And Nikki, I want to switch gears a little bit. And what I want to talk to you about is something that you and I have talked a lot about.
Yes.
And that is how important relationships are in this industry. We say it all the time. This is a relationship business. But I'd love for you to share how you foster that in your teams through being organic and being yourself, but also maintaining those relationships as well.
Well, Kristine, the one, first and foremost, I feel like I'm on The Price is Right. I see all these beautiful people. So I just have to do a quick shout out to everyone. Thank you so much. And I love all ththese text messages that I've been getting. You know, you guys are the biggest cheerleaders. So, you know, I just have to say, you know, Global Legacy team, you guys rock. Greg and Nika, we've got Denise Lee, Dexter Tanya, Nate and Pam, Andrews and Tammy. You guys are awesome. Everybody has incredible teams. And Crystal Vance, I love seeing your face. But what I will say is relationships, so powerful. You have to also sometimes take yourself out of your feelings and just step into somebody else's world for a moment and just see what they're going through. Be very sincere and ask them, how are you doing? Like, is there anything I can help you with? You know, and it's these simple little words that go so far, but there's something else that's very pivotal that Kristine and I were talking about. So for me, relationships are powerful. Even if you have friends that are not in your current company, do not ever let go of those relationships. Ever, ever, ever. That is something that has transpired across my whole network marketing career. And that in itself is hilarious, because to be able to go, and we're going to touch on Tahiti, but I didn't get invited to go with my dad and my brother because, number one, I was goofing off and I was not working. His network marketing business was with Miranda back in the day, Tahitian Noni. So by being able to go and walk in those steps and do those things that my dad did, that was incredible. But guess what my dad did? He allowed me and developed that relationship with me on my terms. He allowed me to be who I was and not ever forced me to be something I wasn't, because then he knew that he would have to drag me across every level of degree. And that was something he just always allowed me to be who I was. So when you're thinking about your family and you're thinking about your children, you're thinking about your aunts, your uncles, your friends, let them be who they are. Never force them, because eventually they're going to see how happy you are and they're going to come around and want to know and want to get a little piece of what you have. So that's what I say.
I love that. And I'm seeing it now more than ever.
Mhm.
People that have worked in opposing companies that now are coming to Partner Co. and saying, I've always wanted to work with you. And so I think that is I just think it's incredible that when we talk about leveraging skills and talents, it's not about using somebody, it's a teeter-totter. I mean, that is what leverage is. And if either one gets off, we've all done it. I mean, okay, I've done it with my brothers, maybe gotten off when they're up, but it's about that balance. It's about leveraging, and both parties are benefiting from that relationship. And so, Nikki, I think that you are such an incredible example of this, both you Nick, and Fred. So I'm going to ask you both really quickly to just share some of your takeaways from Tahiti.
You know, what I'm going to say, once again, I'm going to go back to relationships. The relationships that we made on this trip were so powerful. I will never forget anybody. We were part of the first Partner Co trip that went to Tahiti. But what I would say, I'm going to circle back to relationships. Grab yourself a partner. Grab yourself a running mate. Pick your two. Grab your two people that you really want to run with, and then show them there's another way of doing things. And that is this amazing, an unbelievable company. We are going to the Bahamas. Once again, grab yourself a partner. That's how beautiful this is.
I love that. And I have to just throw in, speaking of partners, your husband, Steve, was the
Yes.
MVP of Tahiti. I don't think there was a single person that I talked to that came back from Tahiti that didn't just say, Nikki's husband is so cool. So
He's
met him on
definitely,
FaceTime. I can't wait to meet him in person.
he's definitely a firecracker. Okay, let's go back to relationships. He has never been with me to any event, any event I've ever been part of. That's okay. But guess what? This was his time. So when he arrived and he met everyone, he's like, okay, I see what you're talking about, Nick. Now I know why you are so happy. Now I understand why you're on your Zoom calls. I understand why you take the phone calls. Got it.
I love it. Fred, I'd love for
Yeah.
you just to share some of your highlights and takeaways. And I know Jessica, your wife, was able to attend with you as well.
Yeah, yeah, and it was really a blessing to, you know, to be part of a company where you feel so proud that you want your spouse, your partner, your loved one to be around the people that you work with. And that in itself shows you kind of who we're surrounding ourselves with. So our call is about legacy, but here's the spoiler alert. If the company and the leadership of the company isn't solid, then all the work could be for nothing. We were on this cruise with the obviously with John and Darren, with their wives were there. Katie was there with her husband, and to hear their spouses speak to the kind of resolve, integrity, just the fortitude they have to make sure things are right for all of us. I mean, we all need to, put our heads down and go to work, because what we're building here is so secure and so safe. It's like nothing we've ever seen before. I mean, we even I mean, what we're doing now, even though Dad did some amazing things in the past, it doesn't even compare to what's happening now. I wish he was standing right here. It wasn't this picture, you know, but I know he's so proud of us, because he would be blown away by what John and Darren have put together with all of these legacy brands, with this momentum all happening. This is not happening on accident. Please take notice of this. The amount of millionaires that are going to come out of this wave, this tidal wave, right, of hyper growth that we're almost going into, it's going to be amazing. It is going to be amazing. And one of the things that, you know, me and Nikki were talking, we got reconnected with an old friend of Dad's that was in Canada. His name was Andy, and we were talking and kind of reminiscing on some things. And he goes, you know what I remember about your dad? He said one thing to me all the time. This is an old saying. Dad didn't make this up. This is like one of those cool Les Brown sayings or something like that. So forgive me. I should know who said it. But it basically, it's a good reminder on these old school sayings, but they make sense. And Dad would tell him, and he recited this to me. You have to do the things today others won't do, to have the things tomorrow others won't have. And we've all probably heard that a million times, but sometimes we got to remember those things, and it is the truth. If you can go ahead and figure out a way and maybe come up with a plan with your family and say, look, Dad or Mom, brother, sister, I'm going to be probably busier than you've ever seen me be for a little bit of time here. Okay. Please work with me on this. There's a reason that I'm doing this. I need you to support me in this. And if you can do that, it's amazing. Even in 90 days, we're getting ready to start our 90-day run on May 18th. It's amazing what can be transformed in 90 days of all-out massive activity. So, and at the same time, incorporating, you know, others, the efforts of other people, building a team, and with the right product. So, I kind of got off track there with Tahiti, but I thought that was important to really talk about, you know, the leadership we have here with John and Darren, and all of our efforts will not be in vain. And it was so pure to see them. And I think that's one of the terms Dr. Lanika Scott mentioned on the cruise, was pure. Their hearts are pure. They want it for us more than themselves. They've already been to the top of the mountains, right? And so they want it for us. That's the legacy they're trying to do. And so please grab a hold of it like you've done nothing else. And when you get to the other side of it, you're going to be like, oh my goodness, can you believe what I've done? I've transformed my whole family's lineage now. Seriously, think about that. You could be the first one to transform your whole lineage because of you and because of your efforts. So please take that to heart. And, it's special to be part of a company where the leadership is so pure that there's no reservations. Go out there and make it happen. You got nothing to worry about, and just get these products in as many people's hands as possible, and you'll be richly rewarded for it.
Wow, Fred, thank you so much. I have a few things that I want to just say to wrap up, but before I do, Nikki, I'm going to put you on the spot, girl, because I would be doing everybody on this call a disservice if and I know you and I talked about it earlier, so your hair looks absolutely stunning. And earlier when I asked Nikki, I said, "Oh my gosh, your hair always looks good, but what did you get your hair cut? What did you do different? Share with everybody what you did." And I mean, come on, let's put some love in the chat, because Nikki, your hair is gorgeous. What did you tell me?
Thank you. Thank you. So, okay, I'm going to go back to the Tahiti trip and relationships. So for over 3 hours, I was in the pool with Paulo and Daniela from Italy. So I swam over to Paulo, and this was our first day there. And I said, "Paulo, I have to ask you. I keep hearing about Vanali. Is it real? Come on, please just tell me, is it real that that is the #1 product that you have in Italy?" And he goes, "Well, yes." He goes, "It is." I said, "Tell me more. What is it supposed to do? Because I can read the box, I can read the bottle, but really, what does it do?" And he said, "It's good for your hair. It's good for your skin. It's just a beauty pill. It's a beauty capsule." I'm like, "Okay." So we started talking about it more and more and more. So then I'm like, "Oh my lands, I need to up this." Then I started thinking about it. So I upped the Vanali as soon as I got back. Then I incorporated, so I started reading more about our products. The Omega Q. So I started doing, taking a little extra of the Mega Q. And at nighttime, I have a capsule and it lasts me for 2 days, but I break open the seal of the capsule and I put it on my ends. And then the next day I'll just wash it out. So it's like a natural smoother. So that's literally what I've been doing with my hair. And
I was gonna say, I know that's a turn from legacy company to beautiful hair, but Nikki, you are glowing, and I'm like, okay, we got it. We got to share the secret with everybody on the call. So would you say you're a fan? You're a fan of Vanoli and Omega Q?
Oh, 100%. It has definitely been added to my little, I call it my tackle box that Kristine, you gave me. So now I add it, but I will tell you what's also really happened. The Omega Q, or is it Omega? Yeah, Omega Q is perfect inside, but also for your hair. Thanks, Kristine, for noticing, but literally it works.
Oh, I absolutely love it. Is there anything else that you'd like to share just in closing about anything that we've talked about tonight?
You know what? Yes, I do. What I would like to really talk about is the strength of our company and how beautiful it was to be able to go on this trip and to realize my husband. So not, some of you might know this, but he retired from the US Navy for 33 years. So he was a naval officer, held incredible, positions in the military. So he's very much about structure, about attention to detail, everything. For this company to pass my husband's test of just witnessing and looking and observing, he is 1000% a fan. He's a fan for life. So now, not only do I have a partner with my brother, I also have a partner with my husband, because he was able to actually see, okay, I got it, Nick. This is real. And he's also a big fan of the product. So that really did help. But you know what else is really great? He had his career. He had a beautiful career. And let me tell you what, I made that man shine. I made him look so good at all of our events. I could host some really good parties, but now it's my time. So ladies, husbands, You know what? It's your time. It's your time to shine because we have everything here that we need in one company. So I'm so happy to be your partner.
Oh my gosh, Nikki, thank you so much. Fred, thank you. I appreciate and love both of you. And we are so incredibly blessed to have you here at the company. I just want to just add a couple words before we go. And one of the things I've been blessed to see as I've come into this industry, I switched careers later in life. So I've been in this industry now for about just over 6 years. And I've seen so many amazing family stories being passed on from parents to their children. Right now, you know how I know that we have confidence in our company and I know that there's faith and belief. I have never before seen so many people bringing their children into the business right now. And as moms, we might be willing to take risks, or dads, we're a little more protective of our children. So when I see so many of you bringing your children into the business, I want you to know that I don't take that lightly. I know that there's a great deal of trust and belief, and I know if I can't start calling everybody out, but the first people that came to mind was Tanya Phipps and Mama Pat. You guys have been around for a long time and built an incredible team, and you've been with us, and I'm so excited to see this momentum that you have a chance to partake in. And the other one that came to mind was Sherry Key and her daughter. And I think why I'm so near and dear to that story is that her daughter just had a little baby, didn't want to go back to work, and has really taken this career and made it her full-time job. When I see stories like that, I get so excited. And I mean, I could go on and on. We just had somebody, Tracy Mazurowski, just signed up, I think like a month or two ago, and already has her daughters and her son-in-law involved. So we are a legacy company, but we are a family company, and we are a partnership company. And I'm honored to be here. I'm excited to see what happens. Fred, Nikki, I want to thank you so much for your leadership and for all the things that you shared on the call tonight. Thank everybody for sharing your Monday night with us, and we will see you next Monday. Thanks, everybody.